to my channel. Today I want to make a local Nigerian soup known as egusi soup, but I want to make it with what I call tripe. Locally we call it shaki. It's like the stomach of a cow. Then I'm going to put what we call it's a saltfish, dry smoked saltfish. I think it's called. We locally call it okporoko. I think Jamaicans call it saltfish. So I'm just putting this big lump of it. I've washed it with hot water and I have to boil it to tenderize. But I'm going to put something wonderful. Well, an ingredient, a saved meat stock from chicken and goat that I've boiled earlier. I have a video on how I make my basic rich stock from boiling my meat earlier. I usually save and I can incorporate, so at the end of this dish I'll have like a goat and chicken flavor also in my soup. So let's get started. I'll quickly show you how I'm going to start boiling off the tripe in a minute. Okay, onto my tripe, I'm just going to add a bit of salt and quickly squeezing a double cube of vegetable stock, double cube onto the tripe. Then I like to add this local dry pepper called the Cameroon pepper. I've explained it widely in the video where I showed how I boil my meat and also how I get my meat stock, and quickly add some water over the tripe. The tripe takes a little while, up to 20-25, depending on the kind of meat. It can really take a while in boiling, so I just try to cover a little bit, but I'm going to well, my aim is to boil the tripe until it takes in most of its water. I don't really, that's just my aim. Okay guys, yeah. So after 40 minutes of boiling, this is what my fish, a bit hard, so I added more water and I'll continue boiling, and I'm going to quickly show you what the tripe is looking like over here. What I do, like I said, I like to boil down the water. I like the tripe to soak up most of the cooking water, you see. So I usually aim to turn off the hob when the meat is nearly done. So my tripe is done. I will just continue waiting for my smoked fish to be tender, and I start incorporating. We move on with the soup. Okay, so here is my tripe, and this is just the amount of juice I got from boiling the tripe, which is okay for me. It's just going to add onto the flavor for the soup. Okay, my stockfish is done. I'm just checking this after an hour and 15 minutes. Okay, it's done. I'm turning off the lights. I'll finish off in the soup. So we are quickly cracking on. I want to now show you all what I'm going to use in making my egusi soup. I've got my spinach, or fresh spinach, or washed. I've got my ground egusi here, and onto that I've quickly added some crayfish, a tablespoon of crayfish, and a very local spice called uziza. I'm going to put the name up. And the second one called eruru. They are authentic Nigerian spices. I love the smell. These can be omitted for people that are not used to it. Now, what I've done is I've put a tablespoon each of these two authentic spices. No, sorry, a teaspoon each of these authentic spices, and then a tablespoon of crayfish into this part of the egusi, ground melon seed. Now, 1 teaspoon of eruru more, and then 3 tablespoons more of the crayfish. Now I have another authentic, very authentic Nigerian spice. I am an Igbo girl from Nigeria, and this is so well, typical of what we use, which is the paste of a local bean called locust bean. It's a fermented paste. I love the taste in my egusi. You can omit it if you don't know what it is. Other people can use eru. I'll put up all the names there. Then I'm going to also add 3 onions. I love onions in my dishes. And I have these 2 sweet red peppers and 1 scotch bonnet to add. Remember, I've added some local dry ground pepper when I was boiling my meat. I'm going to add just a dash of salt in this egusi, and I'll show you all how I'll start my process. Blend this once roughly, the peppers and just 1 onion, and I'm going to chop up 2 onions. So I'll get some onion, you know, in the soup in bits, and then I'll have some incorporated, blended, and we will come back when I finish prepping the spinach. I'll cut the spinach and then start quickly to assemble everything into the pot. Okay, here I have the peppers actually, and the onions, which I'm going to just quickly blend. Okay, I have my 2 cooking spoons of the palm oil in the pot, and onto that, because I'm not aiming to bleach, I will quickly add the onion by the side. Then remember when I showed you guys this very local spice, which is called obey, I'm going to quickly put it into the oil as well, because I need it to dissolve. It dissolves best in the red oil, and then the rest of the spice will go later. So again, like I usually say, I prefer to cook with my wooden spoon. I'm going to quickly put the wooden spoon there. I have the ground melon, and if you remember when we boiled the stockfish, I know how I wash my stockfish. I soak it first, wash it very well with hot water before I boil. Some people don't like using this stock, like little stock from it, but I use it. So what I did is I've taken 10 tablespoons of this juice and added it into my egusi, ground melon seed, to make it bit crumbly, like wet but still crumbly. Okay guys, before I'll add it. So back to my oil that has the oil and the onions sizzling away. I'll just allow it to sizzle a little bit before I'll add this crumbly egusi. Okay, chopped onions have combined enough. I'm going to quickly add my roughly chopped onion and the peppers. All right, give it a stir. Allow the tomato, well, the chopped peppers and onions to get some level of heat, and I'll quickly add the crumbled melon, ground melon seed. So the peppers and crushed ground onion has gathered enough heat. I'll just quickly go on to pour the crumbly egusi in and mix and allow it to cook for just maybe 5 minutes, just to get some heat as well. So this is what the egusi looks inside that peppered sauce. You have to be careful of the bottom of the pot. Egusi tends to burn quickly. So what I'll quickly move on to do is to add my eruru. one of those spices I showed you guys, very local, authentic Nigerian spice, and the other one uziza. And quickly add on the crayfish. Okay, and I'll then add my vegetable stock cube. So all the spices are in here, including the vegetable stock. So I'll just quickly start adding the juices. This is the rinse from the blended pepper, and I'll move on to add the remaining stock from my boiled dry stock fish or okporoko, and then my wonderful stock from a pre-boiled goat and chicken meat. And onto this, what is on top of it, little remaining stock from the tripe, boiling of the tripe, so everything goes in. So after 12 minutes of steaming in a reduced heat, like low, quite low, so that it doesn't burn. Like I said, egusi tends to burn. I want to now pour my fish. Remember the stock fish? I've just broken them into smaller pieces. I'll pour the stock fish and the tripes at this time, so that by the time I've finished boiling, by the time the 20 minutes, which I intend to boil the melons, ground melon, that's the soup, I intend to boil the soup, will be up. Everything, both the meat and the fish and the egusi would have been well incorporated. Okay guys, so this is what the soup is looking like, and at this time I want to taste for salt to know if I need any extra salt. No, I'm all right. Before I pour in my spinach. Okay guys, so we go on to pour the spinach. I purposely did not blanch, that is steam the spinach a little bit, because if you look at the consistency of this soup, it's quite thick, so any what like juice or that drains or comes out from my spinach will help just loosen the soup more. Okay, so yeah, I've fully incorporated my spinach and the soup is looking great. I'm going to turn off the hob and remove the pot in 1 minute. So here we are, the soup is ready. I'm going to just go on to plate it. Okay, yep. Ooh, I've plated my soup. I'm opting to have mine with steamed plantain. I have a video where I made some garden egg sauce with steamed plantain and yam, if you want to know how I achieved the steamed plantain. Sometimes the other option I would have had was to eat it with some fufu, and I have a video on how I achieved this using a pot. It's cassava fufu. It's another fermented product. So anyway guys, thank you for coming through to my channel once more. I appreciate all my viewers, my subscribers, my new subscribers, you're welcome. The old ones, you're welcome too. And I'll see you in my next video. Leave me a comment and I'll get back to you. Thank you. Bye.